Is there a way to improve or enhance chassis handling without replacing any parts? Yes, and it's not a placebo effect. The results are very noticeable. That method is adjusting the four-wheel alignment data. In recent years, four-wheel alignment has once again become a trending topic, with every shop investing in high-quality equipment. The core reason is that many vehicle models now demand increasingly higher precision in four-wheel alignment data. This is a fact, whether you believe it or not. First, to understand chassis knowledge, one must grasp what the Ackermann angle is. In simple terms, the Ackermann angle refers to the steering angle difference between the guided wheels. When most family cars turn, many people assume the wheels turn in parallel, but that's not the case. One might wonder, if the steering rack moves equally on both sides when turning, how can the wheels have different steering angles? This geometric angle is called the Ackermann angle. The inner wheel must have a larger steering angle than the outer wheel to ensure smooth turning. If both wheels are parallel and have the same steering angle, the car can still turn, but the inner wheel will drag, making the drive less smooth. This is because it violates the principle of turning around a single center point. The inner wheel follows a smaller circle, while the outer wheel follows a larger one. A smaller circle requires a sharper steering angle for smooth traversal. This is the role of the Ackermann angle. The Ackermann angle is achieved through the steering linkage, which forms a trapezoidal layout relative to the wheels. If the extension lines of this trapezoid intersect at the center of the rear axle, it results in a 100% Ackermann angle. If the extension lines extend beyond the rear axle, it corresponds to a 70% or 80% Ackermann angle. Conversely, shortening the steering linkage distance brings the intersection point of the trapezoid closer to the rear axle, resulting in 100% or even 150% Ackermann angle, which is more conducive to entering corners. It's important to correct a common misconception. Ackermann angle isn't exclusive to luxury cars. All vehicles, whether inexpensive or high-end, feature the Ackermann angle, as it is a widely adopted public technology. So why is the Ackermann effect more noticeable in luxury cars? Because luxury cars typically have larger wheels, thinner and wider tires, and greater camber design compared to regular family cars. In conditions such as winter when tires harden, wet roads, or damp epoxy floors in parking garages, reduced grip can cause vibration or noise due to the Ackermann effect, especially when turning the steering wheel to full lock. These phenomena tend to lessen on sunny or warmer days. Nowadays, many vehicles come equipped with 19-inch, 20-inch, or even 21-inch wheels, along with wide tires and significant weight, which also makes the Ackermann effect quite pronounced. Ordinary family cars rarely experience this issue because they generally have smaller wheels, thicker and narrower tires, and lower overall weight. Even with the presence of Ackermann angle, the tire's deformation can partly offset the forces, preventing noticeable noise during the loss and recovery of grip. In contrast, wide, low-profile tires deform less and can only switch repeatedly between two states, leading to a repetitive thud-thud sound. If there were no Ackermann angle and both wheels turned in parallel, the inner wheel, following a smaller circular path, would lack sufficient steering angle and would simply drag across the ground, resulting in rough and inefficient turning. Only by allowing the inner wheel to turn at a sharper angle can the vehicle smoothly follow a true turning radius around a central point. A 100% Ackermann angle is best suited for the daily turning needs of family cars. An angle exceeding 100% aids in corner entry, delivering quicker steering response, but it can compromise high-speed stability by making the front end prone to frequent oscillations and reducing overall composure. Conversely, an angle below 100% reduces the steering angle of the inner wheel, diminishing agility during corner entry. Many models like the BMW 5 Series and 7 Series, Audi A6 and A4, and Mercedes-Benz C-Class and E-Class are often offered in long wheelbase versions. While the factory-designed Ackermann intersection point is set at the rear axle center on standard wheelbase cars, lengthening the wheelbase shifts this intersection point forward, increasing the Ackermann angle to around 120% or 130%. If chassis components such as the steering knuckle remain unchanged, the long wheelbase version may actually turn into corners more readily than the standard version. However, this does not necessarily translate to better overall handling. Handling is influenced by multiple factors including camber, toe, caster, kingpin inclination, and more, and cannot be judged on a single parameter. Now, let's discuss the core parameters of four-wheel alignment. The first is the camber angle. Many people assume that wheels perpendicular to the ground are ideal, but that's not actually the case. while vertical wheels minimize tire wear during straight-line driving and provide optimal grip, making them suitable for acceleration from 0 to 100 km per hour. Even a slight turn in steering can severely compromise handling. That's why almost all vehicles have a camber angle, either positive or negative, and hardly any models feature wheels that are perfectly vertical. Take the Czech Tatra truck as an example. When unloaded, its wheels have a positive camber angle. Once loaded, the body sinks, and the wheels gradually flatten out or even develop a negative camber angle. This design prevents excessive negative camber under heavy loads, which could lead to severe uneven tire wear. The positive camber when empty minimizes tire wear, while the angle adjustment under load ensures proper tire contact with the ground. Family cars typically leave the factory with a relatively small camber angle, primarily to balance cornering performance and high-speed stability. Take negative camber, for example. While stationary, only about half of the tire tread contacts the ground, which might seem like insufficient grip. However, during high-speed cornering, body roll causes the tire to fully flatten against the road surface, providing ample grip and boosting driver confidence through turns. If the wheels were perfectly vertical, cornering would cause the tires to tilt into a partial contact state due to body roll, increasing the risk of lateral slip or loss of control. Camber also introduces the coning effect. The greater the camber angle, the more the tire tends to roll in a cone around the point where the wheel centerline meets the ground when rotating independently. This causes the forces between the two wheels to work against each other. To counteract this effect, adjustments to the toe angle are necessary. The second parameter is toe angle. Viewed from above, the wheels do not roll perfectly parallel but are set with either toe in or toe out. Toe in, where the front of the wheels points inward, offers excellent stability during high-speed cornering. Minor steering inputs result in minimal changes to the car's direction, and the faster the speed, the greater the stability. This is because the rolling directions of the wheels converge, helping to suppress front-end wobble. However, it compromises corner entry. Steering input must first overcome the toe-in angle before turning begins, reducing front-end agility. Toe out, where the front of the wheels points outward, has the opposite effect. Steering response becomes extremely quick, making it suitable for low-speed U-turns and navigating city traffic. However, it leads to pronounced instability at high speeds, increasing the risk of losing control. Camber and toe angles work hand in hand. Camber is used to enhance grip during cornering, while toe is used to counteract the coning effect caused by camber. However, adjusting both angles increases the likelihood of uneven tire wear and shortens tire lifespan. This is why German cars, which prioritize handling, tend to exhibit more noticeable tire wear compared to lighter Japanese and Korean models. Achieving superior handling and stability inevitably comes at the cost of reduced tire longevity. These two objectives cannot be fully reconciled. If the goal is solely straight-line stability and tire durability, and neither camber nor toe is adjusted, tire life could potentially be twice that of a performance-oriented setup. However, in such a configuration, the car may feel unstable or floaty under crosswinds at high speeds, compromising driver confidence. It's important to note that handling quality is not determined by vehicle weight. Race cars, for example, are designed to be as light as possible. Their superior handling stems from precise four-wheel alignment adjustments, not from added mass. The third parameter is caster. The shock absorbers do not move perfectly vertically, they are set at a slight rearward angle. The angle between a line perpendicular to the ground through the tire and a line perpendicular to the ground through the kingpin is the caster angle, approximately 4 degrees in Japanese cars, slightly higher in German models. The point where an extension of the caster angle meets the ground does not align with the tire's actual contact patch. This offset creates a tendency for the wheel to lift when turning, generating a self-aligning torque that helps the steering wheel return to center. The greater the caster angle, the stronger this self-centering effect. Many people claim that the steering wheel doesn't return to center as well after a wheel alignment compared to factory settings. In reality, the caster angle is often not adjustable on most vehicles without significant disassembly, such as removing the subframe or shock absorbers, or unless the car has been in an accident. Often, this perception is psychological. If there are no actual issues like uneven tire wear or unusual noises, the data from a standard alignment performed with proper equipment is usually correct. Excessive adjustments can actually disrupt the balance rather than improve it. The fourth parameter is kingpin inclination. Similar in principle to caster angle, when the kingpin is inclined inward, the wheel rises and falls slightly as it turns. This motion generates a force that also assists in steering wheel self-centering. The more pronounced the inclination, the stronger the return to center effect. If the self-centering force feels uneven when turning the steering wheel left versus right, after ruling out issues with the steering rack, it is often due to inconsistent caster or kingpin inclination angles on the two sides. This commonly occurs after accidents, such as strut tower displacement or rewelding, or when adjustable strut tops are installed. The adjustment process is tedious, requiring steps like lifting the wheels, loosening bolts, and repositioning components. Many repair shops skip or rush through these steps to save time, resulting in inaccurate alignment data. The price difference in wheel alignment services often stems from this. Basic alignment typically involves only fundamental adjustments and may not strictly follow the full procedure. In contrast, a standard precision alignment requires repeated calibration and thus commands a higher price. Even without modifying parts like shocks or sway bars, family cars can still improve handling by adjusting their four-wheel alignment settings. Based on factory specifications, setting the front wheels to toe out can enhance corner entry responsiveness, though it may reduce high-speed stability. Conversely, setting both front and rear wheels to toe in improves high-speed stability but typically leads to more noticeable uneven tire wear. This is an unavoidable trade-off. There is no perfect solution that fully satisfies both goals. Finally, it's important to correct a common misconception. Many people have blind faith in string alignment, believing it can achieve micron-level adjustments, but in practice, this is often of little significance. Racing engineers use string alignment based on extensive experimental data and tailor parameters for specific tracks. However, average car owners lack access to the original factory data ranges and professional expertise. Relying solely on limited personal experience for adjustments makes it difficult to achieve ideal results. To sum it up, the core principle of four-wheel alignment is equilibrium. The factory settings represent the optimal solution derived by engineers through thousands of iterations, striking a balance among handling, durability, and safety. If your vehicle shows no practical issues such as uneven tire wear, unusual noises, or steering pull, frequent wheel alignments are unnecessary. Should adjustments be genuinely required, it's essential to seek out a professional alignment shop that follows standardized procedures and to accept the inherent trade-offs that come with any modification.